Hi, I'm Jessica. Welcome to Chair Yoga. If you have never done the video classes before, just maybe pause the video. You need a comfortable, sturdy chair. Always have water. And I will not be playing music just for the rights of the music. So if you want to just take a moment, maybe have your TV, radio, your Alexa, whatever it is that you use, just get some maybe relaxing music, or maybe you're outside, which would be wonderful, and you're enjoying the outdoors. So when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get comfortable in our seats. So whatever that is for you, I want you to have that nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. If you need to, imagine you're pulling a string from the top of that head. Hands are just comfortable in your lap. We're just going to focus on our breath, get settled. You could have one leg up also, or both, you decide. All right, just if you're able to, if it's comfortable for you, just go ahead and close those eyes. Maybe take in some breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then when you think you're ready, try to breathe in and out through that nose if possible. You could always change positions of those hands, whatever's just relaxing, comfortable to you. Just focusing on that breath, just getting settled down. Keeping that nice tall spine. Shoulders are staying softened. Maybe make that inhale a little deeper, exhale a little longer. All right, we're going to take 2 more breaths here. One more breath. On your exhale, you're going to drop that head over to one side. You still have that nice tall spine. With every breath, feel as if that ear is getting a little closer to that shoulder. That head is just getting heavier and heavier. Just imagine it's melting down. You could still have those eyes closed if you like. Take one more breath here. On the exhale, head is still tilted. We're just going to rotate down to look at that elbow. Now you can just keep that gaze at the elbow, or after 2 or 3 breaths, you could just add a slight twist, not a huge movement, just a slight little twist. Still taking those nice deep breaths. Two more breaths here. One more breath. On the exhale, we're going to rotate up. If you need to pause at that side position, making sure the head's still down, slight twist up. We need to be working out that neck, but just keep in mind that you should be able to feel the stretch, but there shouldn't be any pain. So just slightly come out of it. Don't do anything to push yourself. Just focusing on that breath. Only one more breath here. I don't like to hold the up as long. Exhale. We're going to rotate that chin around to the chest. I want you to try to tuck that chin as close to the chest as you can. So with every breath, feel like that forehead is getting a little bit heavier. Keep that nice tall spine though, don't round the spine. Take one more breath here. Exhale, we're gonna slowly lift that chin for the ceiling, nice and easy, slow, slow, slow. Now, if you need to, hands could be up on those shoulders for support, but otherwise you're trying to let that head fall back, chin is shooting up, shoulders are staying softened. If you feel like maybe your shoulders are creeping up as you look up, then I definitely recommend you put those hands on the shoulders. Only one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to look through the center and then we're going to slowly drop it over to the other side. Just nice and easy, moving so slow through these, never moving fast. Oh, I'm sorry, if you have one leg up, switch them, or if you have both, just switch which is on top or in front. Got to keep them both sides balanced. So be very intentional of just trying to get that ear down a little bit closer to that shoulder, feeling that stretch on that other side. Nice deep breaths. Take one more breath here. Exhale, head is still tilted. We're just rotating down to look at that elbow. So same as the other side, you can keep that gaze just straight down at the elbow, or after 2 or 3 breaths, add a little bit of a twist. Always remember, I catch myself doing it, so do remember if you add the twist, make sure you're not leaning out. Keep that spine nice and tall. Take 2 more breaths here. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to slowly rotate up. If you need to pause at that side position first, just a slight twist up. You know your body, so do what feels right for your neck. You should feel the stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. So if you feel any pain, just slightly come out of it. Remember too, one side may be different than the other. They don't have to be exactly the same. We'll just take one more breath here. Exhale. We're going to roll that chin around to the chest, and then we're going to slowly look up through the center. Just nice and easy. Maybe shrug the shoulders back if you need to. All right, if you have your feet up, we're going to put those on the floor. All right, scoot out to the edge. I just want you to, we're going to, even as we move into the next stretch, I want you to go up on those toes, bring the heels out. We're being very exaggerated. We're trying to stretch those feet. So come up on those toes, get those heels out, really flexing those feet, just work them out. Those feet are going to come out wider than your hips and shoulders. You're going to need to be out of the edge of the seat, but far back enough that you feel nice and sturdy, safe. All right, we're going to start off with a nice tall spine. We're going to rub the bowl to start. It's just a nice easy one to start with. So I'll imagine that you're the spatula and we have a bowl. So your body is just trying to rub the edge of that bowl. Your bowl may be way up here, or it could be at any angle, just depending on how far you're able to get it. If you can, your head's going to be dropping down low enough that the top of the head is shooting for the floor. I recently hurt my back, so I don't know if I'll be going as far as I normally do, but that just is like everyone else. You need to be just doing what works for you at the time, and don't think you always have to do everything exactly the same. You need to be doing, working with your body. All right, so nice and easy. We're just trying to rub that bowl. So if you're able to, top of the head is shooting for the floor. You could even maybe go a little lower than I am. Slowly come around, but when you get to the back, you need to stretch those arms, tuck the chin, curve that spine, give a pause before you continue on. Just nice and easy. Slow and controlled. Always give that pause at the back. Keep going. Think about every time around, just maybe making your circle a little bigger, maybe a little deeper, changing that angle. Stretch back one more time. Last one this way. Give that stretch back. We're going to change direction. Other way, same thing. Now maybe going the opposite way, you're a little bit different of your angle. That's perfectly fine. Just nice and easy. Stretch back. Keep going. Taking those nice deep breaths. Always give that pause at the back. 2 more. One more. Make it a good one. Maybe try to even slow down a little bit more, holding that stretch. Still give the stretch at the back. And then come on up. We're going to walk those feet just like we did. We're always trying to strengthen and stretch our feet. So walk them back in. All right, we're going to take 2 nice deep breaths. Nice stretch up. Really lift those fingertips up. You should feel that extra stretch in your rib cage, your belly. Hold that breath. Exhale. Remember, we're not just flapping those arms. You need to feel as if someone's pulling you from both sides. You should really feel that stretch through here, that upper arm. One more time. Palms can be up or down. You decide. I usually alternate the direction just to change the feel. Stretch, 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 and get all that air out of your lungs. Nice deep breaths. Roll the shoulders if you need to. All right. I want you just to walk those feet out enough that those legs, those feet, knees are just coming straight off those hips. We're going to lean out over that leg. So as we get in position, we're going to just lean down on that leg. If naturally I'm kind of rounded, I want you to imagine you have that string like you did before, and you pull that string so you're straightening out that spine. So I got a little bit closer to you. We're going to pull that top shoulder back. Everyone's going to be slightly different, but if you're able, you're going to stack those shoulders on top of each other. Imagine you have a ruler connecting those shoulders. All right, we're going to do some nice slow circles. Whichever direction you'd like to start, you can, but every time that arm is by the ear, I want you to give a little pause, a little extra stretch. Make your circle as big as you can. Remember, if you've had any shoulder injuries, maybe shoulder surgery, your arm may be way down here, which is perfectly fine. You just have to do what you're able to do. Make that circle as big as you can. You're really trying to work that shoulder. One more. Keeping that twist in that waist. All right, when that arm gets to the bottom, we're going to change direction. Same thing though, you're making that circle as big as you can. When the arm is by the ear, give a little extra stretch through those fingertips. Still think about those nice deep breaths. Don't hold your breath. Stretch way out, bring that arm all the way down. We're just going to slowly move over to the other side, just nice and easy. So even as I'm rotating to the other side, I can feel that I curved my spine again. So pull that string, stretch that spine out, pull that top shoulder back, you're getting that twist, and then start that arm. If you have a preference of starting either way, just go ahead, it doesn't matter. Same thing though, you're making that circle as big as you can, and every time that arm is by the ear, give a little extra stretch through those fingertips. One more this way. All right, when that arm gets to the bottom, change direction. Two more. Just nice and easy. You're just working that shoulder. One more. Still give that little extra stretch before we bring it down. We're just going to meet in the center. Both arms are across those legs, let the head fall. Now you could just be still right here, letting that head hang. You could shake it no a little bit. You could even push those forearms towards the floor while you lift the spine for the ceiling. If you do that, only hold it for 2 or 3 breaths and then let it go. Just take a couple more breaths here. All right, one more breath, hands on those knees, tuck in those elbows, little baby push-up. Only use the arms to push up. Nice and easy. Shrug the shoulders if you need to. All right, we're gonna take 2 nice deep breaths and we're gonna walk those feet back out again. Nice deep inhale. This is just a little bit of a breather, but it should be working for you too. So pull, 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 pull. You should really feel that stretch. You could even add those Spider-Man fingers if you want hands. So on the inhale, stretch up. Pause. Remember, the fingers could be shooting towards the palms while the other fingers are trying to go back. It's going to slightly change the stretch. Remember, I have no idea what it's really called, but I call it Spider-Man fingers. Shrug those shoulders. So don't quote me on that. All right, walk those feet back out. We're constantly trying to move. Think about how much your feet are doing all the time. We need to be stretching them and strengthening them to help with falls and trips and everything else. And like I've told my classes before, I am extremely clumsy, even though I'm a yoga instructor, so I need all the help I can get. All right, we're gonna make a circle with those fingertips. So we're gonna take a nice deep breath in, stretch way, way, way up, draw a circle with those fingertips. So when you get to the bottom, bend the elbows if you can, top of the head is shooting for the floor, just like the bowl, and come on around, stretch up every single time, just give that little extra stretch. I want you to go so, so slow. Maybe your circle's growing a little. This particular pose hits so many different spots that this is just a really good one to just take notice of how you're feeling as you come around this circle and compare it to other times when we do it. Last one this way. Just to check in with yourself, you need to be aware of how your body's feeling. And I think sometimes we're just so busy and we don't really pay attention to what our body is trying to tell us. Stretch way up, we're gonna go the other way. Same thing, you're trying to make that circle as big as you can, and so bend those elbows going as low as you can. Still give that pause, stretch up every time. If you've been in my classes before, you could always give that little bit of a twist and look out to the side if you want to make it a little more challenging. It's up to you. One more this way. Make it a good one, make it a little bit bigger. Maybe go a little bit slower. Stretch way up, bring those arms down in opposite directions, nice and easy. Nice. Walk those feet, be very exaggerated. Okay. One just nice deep breath. We're going to go right into a spinal twist. Let that air out, nice and easy. Okay, one more breath. Stretch way, way, way up. Exhale, we're going to twist in that chair. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. We're just going to breathe right here. Remember, keep that gaze parallel with the floor and get it back as far as you can. Some of you like to have those arms shooting out in front and behind. That's perfectly fine. Otherwise, I like to keep my hand on that outer knee, other one's on the chair. Just breathe right here. Take 2 more breaths. One more breath. On the exhale, we're just going to slowly untwist. Nice and easy. Right to the other side, nice deep inhale. Exhale. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened, chin's not dropping down. Get that gaze back as far as you can. Just taking some nice deep breaths. We're not trying to push it and go deeper yet. Take one more breath. On your exhale, we're just going to slowly untwist, always moving slow. Just nice and easy. All right, we're going to go into a forward fold. All right, so I want you to come out to the edge of that seat. We're going to really flex that foot. Toes are trying to spread out and come back. We're constantly, like I said, trying to stretch those feet out, strengthen them. All right, we're gonna take a nice deep inhale. That leg is trying to be straight. It's probably gonna just naturally bend when we fold. On the exhale, we're only hinging from those hips. Flat back as long as you can. So imagine you're trying to shoot the fingertips out. When you think you get to your point, then you can curve to round over. Now, normally I would be having my hands on the floor and I'd be a little closer to my leg, but like I said, I have had a back injury, so I'm gonna keep it right here. My hands are gonna be on my legs, thighs for support. If you're able to go deeper, you could be reaching for your foot or leg to help pull you down. Hands could be on the floor. Just do what works for you. Lots of options. Let the head fall if you can. It just is a natural weight, so it's going to help with the stretch. But if you get lightheaded or dizzy, lift the head up and just keep your gaze about a foot in front of your foot. We're going to take one more breath. Exhale. We're going to stack those vertebrae. Head's the last thing to come up. So imagine as you're bent over, you're just coming up nice and slow. Other leg. All right, same thing. So I'm starting off with this leg nice and straight, but as you go, it's just naturally bending, which is perfectly fine. Don't force it to straighten out, but if you're able to, you can. This is equivalent to having those legs, if you're on a mat class, having those legs, both legs right out in front of you straight. So if you can, but it's okay if it bends. All right, nice deep inhale. Stretch way, way, way up, pause, exhale. Hinge from those hips, so imagine you're getting those fingertips out as far as you can. When you get to your point, then you can curve the spine to finish folding over. So perfect example of both sides do not have to be exactly the same. My injury was on my right side, and my hands were nowhere near the floor on that side, but on this side, I'm able to get deeper. So don't think that every side has to match. Just breathe right here. Two more breaths. One more breath. Stack the vertebrae. Slowly rolling up, nice and easy. Head's always the last thing to come up. Roll those shoulders back. All right, let's take 3 nice deep breaths. Scoot back in that chair a little if you need to. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. Palms are going to face each other. Stretch way up, palms out. You're working those shoulders a little more. Get those hands back as far as you can. Everyone's going to be different on what this is. Maybe yours go back farther than mine. Maybe they don't. One more. Stretch way up. Always pause, just holding that stretch position. We're all the time trying to stretch out that spine, elongate the spine. Roll the shoulders back if you need to. All right, we're going to go back to that spinal twist one more time, and then we're going to get up out of our chairs. All right, so be out a little bit on the edge of that seat, but not too far. We're going to go deeper for that spinal twist. So I want you to imagine we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Exhale as we twist, and then we'll take a nice deep inhale, and on every exhale, I want you to think about wringing out a wet rag. Always trying to match it with our breath to try to go deeper. So on every exhale, you're trying to just get a little more twist. Like I said, some of you like to have those arms shooting out front and behind, that's fine, but doing the deeper version, I highly recommend instead you have that one hand on that outer knee and then use the chair because you're using that for leverage to help you get a little deeper. It'll help. All right, here we go. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way up. Exhale, let all that air out. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, you're going to go a little deeper. Now maybe one twist is all as far as you're able to go, but if you're able to, with every exhale, you're going to go a little deeper. Keep in mind, we want to keep that nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. If your spine starts to round, that means you've gone just a little bit too far to slightly come out of it. Always want to keep that nice tall spine. One more breath. On the exhale, slowly untwist. It's a deep twist. Go very, very slow. You could actually hurt yourself just coming out of it too fast. All right, other side, nice deep inhale. Stretch way up, exhale. Same thing, let all that air out. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, try to go a little deeper. Remember, do not let the chin drop down. This would be the same thing depending on if you have any injuries. Both sides are not going to be the same. And that is okay, don't push it too far. 2 more breaths, so one more chance to go deeper. And then 1 more breath. On the exhale, slowly untwist. Nice and easy. Good job. Shrug those shoulders. Do those chicken wings if you need to. I think I do it more exaggerated when I have those chicken wings versus my arms down. So really shrug those shoulders up. Think about making as big of circles with those shoulders as possible. Really shrugging them. So especially if you're doing those chicken wings, imagine you're trying to get those elbows back touching. Do it 2 more times. All right, we're going to get up out of our seats. So go just directly behind your chair. I'm just going to go at a very slight angle just so you can see me a little better. All right, step back from that chair. We're going to do a nice forward fold. This would be equivalent to down dog on a mat. Step back. When we go to fold for this, if you need to adjust where your feet are or the chair, don't feel like because you're in a yoga class you're supposed to be as still as a statue. You need to adjust it so you can feel the stretch. And for this one, you should feel the whole length of your body. You should be able to feel the stretch. So make sure while you're there breathing, you adjust accordingly so you're getting the most benefit out of the pose. All right, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Pause. We're going to keep those legs stacked right where they are so you're not pushing that rear end out. You're keeping it right where it is. Hinging from the hips, push those fingertips out. So it's kind of like when we folded over that leg. Grab a hold of that chair. Now you could adjust the distance between your feet for whatever feels good for you. You could just be right here. If you wanted to, you could be pushing that head and chest between the arms, trying to push them towards the floor, go a little deeper. You could bicycle those legs. Just nice and easy. You're going to feel that stretch on the back of those legs a little bit more. Take a couple more breaths here. 1 more breath. Exhale, we're all going to step forward with our right foot, so back foot's at an angle. All right, now we have a bend in that front leg. You're deciding how far apart those feet are, how much bend is in that leg, but always be sure that those front toes, you can see them. That knee shouldn't be so far forward that you can't see those toes, so make sure you see those toes. That back foot, think about all 4 corners really rooting down to the earth. Those toes should even be gripping the earth. We're going to face towards that chair. Arms are going to come up. Now we're not sandwiching those ears, they're not way up here. Shoulders are softened, palms are facing each other. You're looking straight out over your chair. Now, with every breath, I want you to feel as if that left hip is trying to get a little bit closer to that chair. So eventually, the goal would be, which mine are nowhere near it, so don't feel bad, hips should be parallel with the back of that chair. I'm going to take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale, we're going to rotate that back foot. That back foot is going to become parallel with the back of the chair. So that pulled my hip back. Arms are just following along. Palms up when you're ready and gaze that over those front fingertips. If you think you moved, wiggled much, make sure you still see those toes. We're just going to breathe right here. You could always try to go a little bit deeper. We're only going to go through this 1 time. So while you're here, if you want to go a little deeper, you can. If it's too much for your shoulders, you could even have prayer hands right here. That way you're just more focusing on those legs. I'm going to take 1 more breath. Exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. Front arm is going to come up, back arm is down, and then that gaze is up. Just breathing right here. If you wanted to, on every inhale, you could push those fingertips up just a little bit higher. Or just breathe right where you are. We're going to take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale. We're going to windmill around. So grab a hold of that chair. Now, you could be using the back of the chair. Those arms could be on the seat of the chair. Maybe you start coming a little lower and you could even rest that rib cage or the chest on the chair, or move the chair out of your way, you decide. Now you can do whatever you want with those arms. That foot that is up, eventually we want that leg to be parallel with the floor, but maybe you're not there yet. But everybody should have that foot flexed, toes are trying to come back at you, regardless of where that leg is. We're going to take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale. Nice and easy. All right. Other side. You just stay right where you are. I'm going to just go this way so you can see me. Step back from that chair. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Stretch way up. We're going to take 2 breaths. Exhale. Nice and easy. Get all that air out of your lungs. 1 more. All right, we're going to forward fold on this one. Here we go. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward, trying to push that rear end out. Remember, so perfect example. This is too close. I'm going to push that chair out just a little bit. You get comfortable with those legs. Just breathe right here. Remember, you could bicycle if you'd like. You could even walk those feet out a little wider. Just do this one, you could just work out what works for you. I'll take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. On the exhale, we're all going to step forward with our left foot. All right, back foot's at an angle. So make sure you can see those toes. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. Trying to face towards that chair, shoulders are staying down. Don't sandwich those ears. You're deciding how far apart those feet are, how much that bend is. If you have a shoulder injury, you could even have one hand down for prayer hands while the other one's up. Always just adjust, so there's modifications for everything. Keep that gaze straight out, don't drop the chin. One more breath. Exhale, you're rotating that back foot, so that pulled my hip back a little more. Arms are just following along with that motion. Palms up when you're ready. Gaze is out front. So even right now, that back foot, all 4 corners should be pushing down. That foot just naturally wants to go in on that inner blade. Make sure that little baby toe is even pushing into the earth. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale, straighten the front leg, front arm comes up, back arm is down, gaze is up. You can always stretch those fingertips up a little bit higher on every breath, just feeling a little extra stretch all the way down to that hip. One more breath. On your exhale, remember, it does not have to be exactly like mine is. Windmill around. Use that chair whatever way works for you. You can do whatever you like with those arms. Regardless of where that leg is, that foot needs to be flexed. Just breathe right here. Remember, if you wobble out of it, it's okay. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Try to be slow and controlled, and I know good and well that doesn't always happen. But try. All right. All right, here we go. Let's just take a nice deep breath. Stretch way up. Exhale. I think we'll do a forward fold, so I'm going to move my chair out of the way just so you can see me. Let's just do a forward fold while we're here. All right, we're going to take a nice deep breath. Oh, wait a minute, I should say, it's just whatever feels comfortable for those feet. I have mine just coming straight down off those hips, but we're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Same like we did before. We're only hinging from those hips, stretch those fingertips out. When you think you can't anymore, then you can round forward. You could grab those elbows and sway a little bit. You could be grabbing those legs to come down a little lower, or just hanging, you decide. Take one more breath. We're not going to hold this long. Then we'll sit back down in our seats. Exhale. We're stacking those vertebrae just like we did over those single legs. Head's the last thing to come up. Roll those shoulders back. All right, have a seat in that chair. We're just going to start slowing things, kind of reversing out of what we've done. So we're just going to slow things down. All right, scoot back in that chair just a little bit. We're going to do a side stretch. So scoot back in that seat. All right, nice tall spine, shoulders are going to be softened. We're going to stretch that arm way up, and we're going to lean over. Some of you like to have that arm just hanging, or put the hand on the chair, but you're stacking, just come over to the side. Stretching on over. Try not to let that arm fall forward or roll back. Just nice and easy, breathe right here. One more breath. Exhale. All right, here we go. Other side. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way up. Get those fingertips out as far as you can. Then curve the arm. Fingertips are shooting towards the floor. Pull that shoulder back as if it's stacking. So if you're here, then you'll just little by little work at pulling it back. You could always bend that elbow, go a little deeper. One more breath. Exhale. Come on up, nice and easy. All right, I think we'll do our eagle arms. So, just that. All right, so come out to the edge of that seat, just so you have some space behind you. It'll help if you're able to get those arms back. I want you to have a nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. I want you to open those arms up, thumbs are gonna be up, palms are faced out. I want you to bend those wrists as if the fingertips are trying to shoot back towards each other. You can use the chair. If you can't, it's okay. But you're just gonna breathe right here. Just breathe. You're really pushing that chest. This is a heart opener, a chest opener. One more breath. All right, exhale. Everyone is going to bring that right arm on top, which means your left leg is on top. It could be just right here, crossed at the ankle, or maybe you can come up a little higher, or if you can, you're wrapping that foot around that other leg. It's called eagle pose, but think of a snake. All right, that right arm is on top, and it's just kind of move it out of the way. Bottom arm is coming up, and then this one, think of a snake. It's just wrapping around. Now maybe for you this is way too much. You could even be this might be your point. If that's too much, you could even just be right here and try to push the elbows together. So lots of ways to modify this. You just do what you can do. All right. Going right here might be deep enough for you. You can feel the stretch. If you'd like to go deeper, you could lift those elbows up. Deeper yet is to push the forearms away. So you decide. This is a deep stretch for those, the upper back, tops of the shoulders. One more breath. Exhale, we're just going to slowly let that go. Untwist those legs. Counter pose is to open it back up again. Same thing, you need to have nice Also, those arms should be almost down at an angle, not up here, because we want to keep those shoulders softened. If mine are up here, I mean, I could start scrunching those shoulders up. So nice, relaxed shoulders. This is where grabbing hold of the chair could help. If you could reach the chair, the arms, and I think you can see mine. Then you could start pushing that chest out. Breathe. If you think you can go a little deeper, you could use that back to try to get those fingertips to touch. One more breath. Exhale. All right, left arm on top. We have to do the other side. So that means right leg is on top. Remember, your ankles could be crossed. This could definitely be one of those where one side is way better than the other. That is okay. Bring that top arm over out of the way. Bottom arm is coming up, and the other one's just wrapping around. All right, just breathe right here. If this is deep enough for you, that's fine. Just breathe right here. If you want to go deeper, raise those elbows up. Deeper yet, push the forearms away. Also, while you're here breathing, you could even be going deeper and keep lifting and raising and pushing them away. If you are a person who holds stress in your shoulders, this is a good one to do. 2 more breaths. Exhale. Let those arms go. Shrug those shoulders, unwrap those legs. That's always a doozy for me. All right. I want you to have a nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. We're going to do those feet a little bit. So I want you to come up on those toes. It's very exaggerated. Get those heels out, flex those feet, and just being very exaggerated with it. Taking them out as wide as they'll go. I feel like we should have music playing, and we should be like doing our knees with this one. Let's go out one more time. Then we're going to do those wrists a little bit. Then we'll just do some things to slow us down and get comfortable. All right, back in. All right, just nice and tall. We're going to stretch out those hands a little bit, those forearms. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. I want you to bring that arm in front of you. Remember, this is a great one for if you have arthritis in your hands, carpal tunnel. You should be doing these every day, to be honest with you. Everybody should be. All right, I want you to just pull back on that palm. Please don't grab those fingers, grab the palm and pull back. You should be pulling back enough that you feel a little bit of a stretch through here. All right, one more breath. All right, really big fingers, as wide as you can get them. Give that little tug. Grab that palm again, another little pull. All right, other side. Grab that palm. I always have mine coming off my shoulder, but if you have a shoulder injury, it could be way down here and be doing the same thing. I just always hold mine up here, so don't feel like you have to hold it the same. Pull back. All right, really big fingers, as wide as they'll go. So I think this is good for everyone, especially with all the phone holding everyone does nowadays, even kids. Kids with holding the video game controllers, pull back on that palm again. Like, you should feel that enough. I'm even feeling it a little past my elbow. Shrug the shoulders. Everybody should be doing those every day. Shrug those shoulders. 3 nice deep breaths. Stretch way up, palms are facing each other, palms out. Get those hands back as far as you can. 2 more. One more. Nice and easy. All right, we're going to do one more variation to that side stretch. So open up those legs just a little bit so they're coming off those hips. Scoot out to the edge of that seat if you haven't already. All right, we're just going to lean out over that leg. I want you to do like we did before when we were doing the circles. You're going to pull back that top shoulder. So think about that top half of that rib cage is trying to roll back. We're going to raise that hand up, stretch it way, way, way up, and way out. We're shooting for the opposite corner. If you're able to, you could have that arm sliding down that leg. Hand could be on the floor to go a little deeper, but try to keep that arm pulled back Same thing, shoulders are stacked. Just breathe right here. One more breath. Exhale, very slowly come out of that. Nice and easy. Other side. So lean out over that leg. I should have said it on the other side and I didn't. Pull that string if you need to. First stretch that spine out. You're pulling that shoulder back, so think about that top half of that rib cage is trying to roll back. Stretch that arm up. And then you're shooting for the other corner, other side. If you're able to go lower, go lower. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale. Slowly come out of it. Nice and easy. Good job. All right, walk those feet out again. Be very exaggerated. Still nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. All right, those feet need to be out wider than your hips and shoulders. We're just gonna rub the bowl, start slowing us down. All right, so just nice and easy. We're gonna come on around. You should be able to make that bowl a little bit bigger, maybe get a little bit lower. You could always give a pause here at the bottom and come on around. Just nice and easy. You could give a little extra push right here too towards the floor. I'm not going to do that today because I can feel my back just a little bit doing that. So I'm not going to try to go deeper with it today. Remember, always give that stretch at the back. All right, one more. Then we'll change direction. Just nice and easy. Stretch way back. I'm going to go the opposite way. Slow and controlled. Okay, two more for good measure. Always give that stretch back. I can really feel that on the tops of my shoulders when I give that pause. You might feel it in a slightly different way. Last one. Come on around. Okay, come on up, nice and easy. Shrug those shoulders if you need to. We're just going to do some cat-cows, and then we're just going to be still, focus on our breath for just a little bit. All right, so legs are just coming straight off those hips. I had to think what body part I was trying to think of. All right, hands on those knees. We're going to do some cat-cows to slow us down. So always match your breath. This would be in class when I would say it's better to close your eyes because you just naturally, when you see someone else doing it, you get matched up with them and you really need to be matching your breath. So even to watch me, you might slightly change the way you're doing it and you really need to focus on your own breath. Trying to make those inhales and exhales as long and stretched out as you can. All right, on the inhale, we're going to scoop on up. Okay, we're getting that curve in the spine. Shoulders should be pulling back and that chin is shooting up. Remember, we always pause because we want to hold in that stretched position for just a moment. And then exhale, we're going to roll on through. Stretch those arms, curve that spine, tuck the chin, pause. Just go back and forth, just nice and easy with your breath. As you go through this, you should be able to feel that spine loosening up a little more. You should feel as if that curve in the back and your spine can get a little more exaggerated. A lot of times, when I'm doing things for work where my arms are out in front of me for a long time, I feel like I have a knife right smack dab in the middle of my back. This one is a beautiful one to do. To just take a moment and every time for me, just doing it a few times, that pain goes away. All right, do that 2 more times, both directions, and then we'll meet in the center. All right, so come on up when you're ready. We're just going to get settled in those seats for just a moment and just focus on our breath. So maybe you're just right here. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you have one leg up or both. You decide. All right, I want everyone to have that nice tall spine. Shoulders are going to be softened. Hands can just be wherever is comfortable and relaxing for you. So whatever that is. And always you could change them as you're here breathing. We're just going to focus on our breath for just a little bit. First, we're going to just put one hand on our chest, one on the belly. I want you to take a nice deep inhale. That belly hand should come out. And then that chest hand should rise, coming out. And then when you go to exhale, that top hand's going to come in, and then that belly hand's going to come in. That's just a good way to see if you're really getting that really filling up with air as much as you can. All right, once you think you have that, you can just put those hands down and relax them. So maybe you just breathe right here. Another thing you could focus on for that breath would be just to slowly count as you inhale. Give that pause. And then exhale as you slowly count. Try to add one number on the exhale. And then as you go and continue doing just different meditations, yoga, try to build those numbers. Always have your exhale be one more number than your inhale. Just breathe right here. I'm going to go ahead and close us out, but it'd be lovely if you, after this video is done, if you just stay right where you're at, just be still. It's good to be still sometimes. All right, I'm going to take one last breath up. Palms are going to come together. I'm going to come down through the center, pausing at the forehead, and that's just a reminder to keep good, pure thoughts and our focus on Jesus. Down to our lips. That's just to make sure nothing but positive things are passing out into the world, and then down to our hearts. And that's just to let His love shine for others to see Him. So the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.